Dr. Hemant Thakur, cardiometabolic specialist, is joining us on the show. Also with us, Lord Dr. Rami Ranger, member, House of Lords, and also founder of Sunmark. I want to go across to Dr. Rami Ranger first. How prevalent do you think this new strain is already in the UK? In other words, what is the risk assessment that UK authorities have done? Is it only restricted to the southeast region in and around London, or do you fear it has spread quite rapidly to all parts of the UK?
Shivani, it's very worrying. This new strain spreads faster than the original one, and it's really worrying that it has started to mutate and create many forms of variants for this unfortunate pandemic. And the hospitals are full. The British Prime Minister had to take some very difficult decision, and we are now in a complete shutdown, complete lockdown, tier 4. So we are unable to shop, unable to move, unable to meet our families. And it is a very worrying situation indeed. And I think we need to take this pandemic very seriously, because it is already crippling the economy. And if we are not careful, it can damage the economy and the lives of so many people even more. So I'm really concerned and worried, and I support the government for taking drastic steps in order to contain, because our hospitals are already overwhelmed with numbers of people being admitted, and there's a limit to what the National Health can accept and afford to treat. So once again, it's a very serious threat to public health.
Yeah. No, already the UK has been very badly hit. So, Dr. Ranger, we all, of course, sympathize with the situation that the UK is dealing with, and the entire world is. Before I go across to Dr. Hemant Thakur also on the concerns this poses for the world fight, I just want to ask you, from the UK's perspective, what is the assessment that the authorities have made on what this means for vaccinations?
Well,
is there a very deep concern that it could render vaccinations not useful at all?
No, the vaccinations are useful, but we don't have enough supply, because there's only one supplier, Pfizer, which is introduced injection so far vaccine. But we are waiting for Moderna, and we're also waiting for the BioNTech vaccine to come on the market very soon. And more and more vaccine will come, and more patients can be inoculated against this virus. And it's just buying time, really. Although the encouraging news is that more and more companies and more people, countries are developing. I mean, Russia has developed, China has developed, but these are not widely available to the general public. So until and unless we can have enough supply of vaccine, I think we have to play safe. We have to sacrifice. We have to suffer. And I think temporary suffering is better than losing your life or losing your loved one. So I think I sympathize with the government.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think the UK could have decided any other way, and neither can the rest of the world, which has suspended flight operations, and EU countries have suspended rail operations from the UK as well. I want to bring in Dr. Hemant Thakur as well. A situation like this, just when we were on the precipice of the vaccinations, for example, to start in India anytime next month, can trigger a panic worldwide. There are reports that this new mutation has reached some European countries and even Australia. Now, because it can trigger panic, I want you to tell our viewers, what is your best advice in this situation?
See, first of all, if a virus does not mutate, it's not a virus. The flu virus mutates every year, which is why we have a new strain of the flu vaccine every year. So this virus has been around for 8-9 months. So it's bound to mutate. If you imagine a prisoner that is kept in a cage for the last 8-9 months, he's going to do everything to try and trick the guards and get out of the cage. The virus is doing the same thing. Because the virus is caged in by the antibodies, either because of production of these antibodies by frequent infections, or now because of vaccines, or because of safe distancing and other things, the virus is finding methods to escape detection, to escape the antibodies and transmit from one to the other. Now, I agree that in the south of England
Right.
and in some parts of South Africa, they have found a change and this mutant virus is seen. But this is modeled on the basis of laboratory data. They really haven't proven it that it is this virus which is supposed to be 70% more transmissible and this mutant that is the one which is causing havoc. A part of it could also be linked to human behavior. Remember what India went through in Diwali, the Americans and the Europeans are going through at Christmas time. So we did have deviations in human behavior. We don't have to fear the viral.
So you're basically saying that cause and effect is sometimes difficult to ascertain in some situations, in this kind of situation. What was the cause and what is the effect? I understand that. But what do people do now, doctor?
So that's
what
a very
more
good
can we
question.
do? Because I'll tell you what, in India, already flights have been banned from tomorrow midnight. Some have landed in the last few days. Some are going to land till tomorrow. In some states, flights have landed from the UK where all passengers did not have a negative certificate. They are going to be traced now. Till tomorrow, all will undergo RT-PCR tests mandatorily. What more can we do? Because this obviously raises a massive concern if it reaches India or any other country.
So this is definitely a panic reaction because it is a chain reaction set about in Europe and India has followed suit. I'm not saying we have reacted badly, but I'm still applying a small source of compromise here that even if this virus has mutated, the vaccine is going to be useful. For a virus to mutate in such a way as to escape the effect of the vaccine, it's going to take 3, 4, 5 years. Like so many other viruses take very long to mutate. But the care that we have to take now is we have to safeguard further. Just because our numbers have gone down and our active cases percentages have gone down, that doesn't mean we drop our guard. Our vaccine is still a month away. We don't even have an approved vaccine still.
Precisely.
So our distancing, our
So you're saying that vaccine, the hope of the vaccine is not diminished because of this new strain? That these vaccines will continue to be as effective as they were, considered to be before the UK announced that, this could be very much a more contagious, if not more deadly strain?
No, it is a more contagious strain, but it is not a less susceptible strain. The spike protein, which is used to produce antibodies in the Pfizer vaccine or in the Moderna vaccine, is going to produce enough antibodies. And that mutant virus is
that's
not
a good
going
thing
to be escaped. Yes, it's not going to be able to escape it.
Can I go across to Dr. Ravi Ranger once again? What next for the UK? Of course, this has slowed down some of the progress that you were making on some other aspects. But can you just tell us what more is Britain or UK expecting in the next 1 month, 2 months, as you also begin your vaccinations?
First of all, I don't like complete ban on travel because they are essential people. They have to travel for good reason, or there are bereavements. People have to go to one country to the other. So there are lots of reasons people travel. They could be diplomat, they could be businessmen. But what I would like is that before people board a plane, they should be tested and they should be taken, their temperature checked, all the precaution, or before they travel, they should get a certificate that they have, their positive result against coronavirus. So I think by stopping flights, it's a knee-jerk reaction. It's not going to solve. It's only going to damage the economy, damage the.
It's only temporary in India. That's what the Indian Civil Aviation Ministry has said, that at least till December 31. Dr. Ranger, you would also accept that, because we don't know so much, we have to be more cautious. It's better to be safe than sorry.
That is being cautious that any traveler should have a certificate, tested certificate that it proves that he is free from coronavirus and he is free to travel. And even then, when you're traveling in a plane, you take full precaution. Yeah, but you do not stop the lifelines of businesses or many diplomats traveling from A to B. So, but we can do a lot more we can take this pandemic a lot more seriously, because what we have done, the fear factor disappears after some period of time. Like this. You have been with this pandemic for so long, and people become complacent. They say, oh, nothing happened to me today, nothing happened to me ever. So therefore, I think we need to revisit that fear factor again, and we must not become blasé about this pandemic. It's a very deadly, it's very serious. It has brought the world to its knees, and therefore there is no cutting corner, there's no accepting that it won't happen to me, it can happen to anybody, and it's indiscriminate against
Dr. Ranger, can I ask you, I have very final few minutes left. Can I just ask you that in the UK, we've witnessed that there's been very stiff opposition to lockdowns. Now, of course, the lockdowns are extremely unfortunate. They're affecting businesses a lot. And, this happening around Christmas and New Year's when people were hoping to maybe get back some normalcy in their lives in the UK. It has come at a huge shock. But given that there has been very stiff movements against lockdowns in the UK, how is it that the government has managed, and what is it that you're telling to people? You just talked about how we have to continue to be safe and cautious. We cannot let COVID fatigue set in. But has it been a very tough battle for the UK authorities?
Indeed, it has been very tough because, people do not like their liberties encroached. So people like to have a free life, free independent life. They don't want to be told what to do. And the government had to tell them what to do. And, British people, by nature, they are freedom-loving people. They want to do their own thing. They don't want to be suppressed or oppressed by anybody. But having said that, this is a very, very difficult decision for the government. And they are appealing to the public time and time again. There is no way government can enforce the law 100%. Everything depends on the goodwill of the people. I mean, you just can't put a policeman in every corner, every street, or everywhere. So there are people who broke the law, they broke the rule, they were partying, they were having weddings when it was supposed to be 50 or 30 people. There are 250 people on there, and they were just, we have done something wrong to be in this situation. The public did not take this pandemic seriously, and we are now paying the consequences. Hospitals are full, and we just can't take any more patients, and therefore the panic reaction has set in, and the government is now taking drastic steps. And the worst thing is the Christmas time, where people look forward to meeting their loved one, is probably a difficult time now for them to meet the grandparents or nannies or like that.
Yeah, I'll just give a final word to Dr. Thakur also. Dr. Ranger was also talking about COVID fatigue has been an issue, but it seems like washing your hands, sanitizing your surroundings, wearing a mask, they just continue to be the only best things that one can do till you get the shot, isn't it?
Absolutely. You don't have anything else. But that too has been proven to be successful. People who have washed their hands and sanitized and kept their distance have not gotten infected. So that's the best thing next to the vaccine, in fact, better than the vaccine. So if you behave, if you have your social COVID appropriate behavior, then you have nothing to fear. And I agree with my colleague that if you test the people boarding the flight out of UK, and if you check that, then there is no reason to panic. Of course, this is a knee-jerk reaction, and I'm happy they have...
No, but unfortunately what has happened, Dr. Thakur, that not all of them have had it. We've got Karnataka Health Minister on record saying that some flights that landed, all passengers were not COVID negative. At least they didn't have the certificates. So now, obviously, compliance is an issue in a large country. Dr. Ranger is talking about people not following, norms in the UK. Much smaller area, much lesser population. Imagine the fight in India, and you know that fight in India. So sometimes you cannot just rely on people's good judgment. You just have to take calls.
So just like you check your visa before allowing a patient to board a flight, you have to check his COVID certificate before allowing him to board. So that's becoming the norm, and you should do that. You can't board a flight without a UK visa out of Bombay. You can't board a flight to India out of UK if you don't have a COVID certificate. Let's pass that law. Let's relax the flights after the 1st of January. So work goes on, the panic settles down, and order and discipline sinks into the people and their social behavior.
And I will also like to appeal to your
Unfortunately, these are, of course, flights coming from UK to India. And you're right, of course, at one level, both the boarding authorities and the flights can take some, greater measure on that. Dr. Ranger, do you want some final word on the fight ahead for the UK itself? I can give you, sir, 30 seconds. What do you see in the future for UK, like the next 1 month, 2 months?
Doctor will concur with me that we should also increase our immunity level also by taking the right food, right medicine, because you can't change the world, but you can easily change yourself, your habits. As Doctor rightly said, taking precaution is much better than dealing with anything else. So take precaution, cover your face, wash your hand, keep distance, sanitize wherever, and try not to mix with groups of people where you have no guarantee if they are in the same bubble. So I think we need to take vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin D, whatever doctor will prescribe you better, and that will help. And I believe Haldi has proven to be a magic bullet for everybody.
It has been for centuries in India, of course. It's going to be a tough festival season for you, Dr. Ranger. We wish you all the best. Anyways, we wish UK all the best. And of course, everyone watching. A big thanks to both of you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, Shivali. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.